Good evening, guys. Welcome to On the Level, and it's Derby weekend. So we're just going to go over the. Excuse me, I'm just moving the video around here a little bit. So excuse the look. I've actually picked up the shift, night shift. So I'm on the graveyard tonight. Just going to have a quick look back on some of the racing today. See what if I was impressed with anything. To be fair, I thought the first race, the Surrey Stakes, formal was very impressive for Andrew Balding. I mean, he never like he was going to lose the race. Very impressive indeed. A horse that's definitely going to go forward on the back of that. We look on to also Charlie Appleby's Maximise, again another impressive win here. Coming out of stall 6 over the 6 furlongs. Then we had the selection, which was up on Twitter. Sorry, I couldn't get hold on here last night. However, Jan Bruegel did the business at 130. I wasn't surprised that Canadigan got beaten. It's a race that hasn't really been kind to horses that come over for the Europeans. Not from 4 now. So yeah, it was. I expected the horse to run well, but not to win the race. So yeah, Jan Bruegel for me was definitely the best price, and Gavaletto, it was no one that's run really well. I saw something on Twitter also. A few people not happy with the fact that Aidan O'Brien is the way he's using continuous as a pacemaker recently. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. I would seriously keep a little tab on this horse. I think because I generally feel that we could see this horse turn up in the RS Ledger. And I won't be surprised to see a very big run from him. So just keep your eye on that. I don't know what kind of price he is for the St. Ledger at the moment. I haven't looked. But yeah, that's not until September. So that's not like the closing part of the season. But somewhere along the line, that horse is going to pick up a race. Um, I didn't really look at the Nifty 50 handicap, where it was won by a 28 to 1 shot for Richard Fahey. On to the big one, the Oaks. Now, it's quite annoying, really, because I actually thought Well should have won the race. I mean, if you look the way the race panned out, it was a great movement from Wayne Lorden out of the stalls when he managed to get over to the far rail in front, poked a couple of lengths, and when they came over the crossway, again he was there in front quite comfortably, and he was dictating the pace lovely. Before they approached the bend, Desert Flower was already off the bridle, and so was Gazelle, O'Brien's other horse there. And Well was really setting the good fractions, and everyone think was struggling behind. But the only horse he had to worry about was Minnie Hawk, who obviously came from winning at Chester, when landing the Cheshire Oaks. Another good trial for the Oaks, and I did put around on Twitter a couple of times. I think Minnie Hawk was the danger. It was the only real horse that actually stayed the distance. But again, I think Wayne Lawren set on the horse too long for me. I think as they came round the bend, he was still sitting on the horse there until Minnie Hawk came up beside him and took him on. I think if Well got the first run and Wayne Lawren went for home a little bit earlier, I think he might. I'm not saying he would, but I think he might. She might have would have just held on, maybe because she had the rails to help, but can't take it away. Minnie Hawk saw the trip out really well. It was the danger in the race for me, and a good 1-2 for AP O'Brien there. Didn't really look at the last 2 races. Again, we saw OC Murphy riding a good win on Mersky for David Armara. Didn't really watch the last race. Again, the stall there I think was the significant. Stall 2, Partisan Hero went in and won at second favourite. So yeah, so I mean, if you look over the first day, a lot of low draws were winning the races, especially over the longer distances. Don't forget today on Saturday we're going to see a couple of sprints there. We've got the Epsom Dash, which is obviously apparently the fastest 5 furlongs on the planet. So let's go on to tomorrow. Um, and then not beat around the bush here. So we're going to start half here at 1 o'clock. Nice early start. It's the Princess Elizabeth Stakes, Group 3, over just over an extended mile. And I am in the camp here of William Buick's ride here on James Tate's Royal Dress. I mean, it's this off the back. I thought she ran an incredible race in the Middleton Finney Stakes over 10 extended 10 furlongs at York back in the 15th of May, finishing third. I mean, the winner was just completely out there. Cedar Fire. I mean, she would have won by 12 lengths, and the way she extended was quite impressive. And really, she was only a neck behind Beautiful Love, 14-1. And I thought she ran a really, really good race. And for me, I mean, William Buick rode Beautiful Love that day, and he's decided to take the ride on Royal Dress, which for me is quite significant. And consider this is the drop in classes also for her. I mean, I think Royal Dress from stall 2 will run a very, very big race. Looking at the rest of it here, I was also looking at Bright Thunder, Carl Burke's horse. Again, a good trial for this race was the Conquer Filly Stakes, where she finished third behind Crimson Advocate. That form has been franked slightly. Betty Clover finished in second that day, has gone on recently to finish third in the Prix de Sandringham over at Chantilly last weekend, or the weekend before. Sorry, I might be mistaken. I think it was last weekend. But I thought Bright Thunder ran well. Serona was back in fourth in that race also. So if you want to take something out the race here, Bright Thunder and Serona were probably the ones that the eye-catching ones. Bright Thunder this time around will be ridden by stable jockey Clifford Lee. Gladly, Jim. Don't disrespect to Jim Crowley, but I think the gentleman's a little bit past it now for me. He's more of a, not a big race jockey to go to. Um, Anything else in the race? David O'Mara's Sunfall, first run for the trainer. Danny Tulloch comes in the ride. Last seen winning Ascot, winning the October Stakes. Doesn't really tend to stand out for me. It's a listed event. Steps up here and steps up in trip also. So for me in this race, I'm going to stick with the mare here, the Night of Thunder mare. I think she'll get the trip really, really well. Comes here with William Buick taking the ride. Royal Dress for me. As slightly drifted, but still quite confident in the market. Around 9-2 with Bet365, and that would be a win bet for me. Obviously, we have to keep a good eye on Serona, who also will be interested. Also, there's been a bit of money around for her, around 5-1, generally because Ryan Moore has taken the ride for Richard Hannon. Sorry, with David Menezia. Sorry, my fault. On to the 135, which is the Diamond Stakes, and I'm going to take the flop last time out. Not because it's Ryan Moore's riding it, but I just think that was not the horse we wanted to see. Persica is the horse. Now, last in the Lockinge, it was a very, very tough Lockinge, a very, very competitive Lockinge. With the likes of Rosalian, Dancing Gemini, lead artists in there, Temfana, Notable Speech. And Persica was 22-1 shot that day for Richard Hannon, and was quite prominent early. I think maybe the ground was a bit too good to firm on the day. And I think he would like maybe a little bit cut in the ground, which I think he might get today. Last seen in this kind of criterion, a Group 3, was when winning the Earl of Sefton Stakes over 9 furlongs back on the 15th of April. Winning that quite comfortably on good to soft ground. Now, this is what I think. I think this horse needs a bit of cut in the ground, which he didn't get last time out. And I think Persica is going to be a very, very hard horse to beat here. There's been a lot of money around for the horse. Round 2-1 now in the market. Ryan Moore takes the ride. I don't think it's a very, very in-depth renewal. I think Perskirt should be the one to beat here. On to the 210. I didn't want to get too much involved because it's a bit of a handicap race here, but it's over the Furious 5 furlongs, and I would probably be in the camp of Ruby's Prophet here. Despite the horse's favourite, I'm not really a favourites backer, but the fact that Kieran Schumacher comes in the front ride, and the fact that the horse has competed in two races that I do quite like. He had a cracker on the 7th of May on good ground when just beating the length over at Chester, a very sharp track and a very good track, I think, personally, coming into in Epsom. And then came out there and ran a crack at Goodwood when winning the membership handicap over 5 furlongs on good to firm ground when beating Mademoiselle, Nana's Plus Sparkle, Cressida Wellness, which he will also compete against in this race once. She will compete once more against in this race. However, there is one in here that is quite a price, I thought. If I could just find it's there. So it's Michael Bell's horse. It's Gold Star Hero. Now I think you could completely overlook the way she ran. Oh, sorry, he ran. I'm getting my sexes mixed up here. Sorry, the way he ran when finishing 8th in that race at Chester, which was seen Ruby's Prophet finish 2nd, and Combo was back in 6th. I think the horse ran too keen, didn't settle well too well, and the fact that it was his first run of the season, it wouldn't worry me. It's 16 to 1, a very big price indeed. Hector Crouch takes a ride. I think Gold Star Hero here over a quick, sharp 5 furlongs out of stall 13. Is it stall 13? Stall 13, I think, could run a big race here. Nice big price of around about, what are we looking at here? About 18 to 1. You can get Sky Bet here, are offering an extra space, I think. 6 places at 14s, but generally 18 to 1 with some firms, 16 with others. So as a win bet for me, it would probably Ruby's Prophet. I like to see Kieran Schumacher get another win here. I've got a great respect for the jockey, despite what's been going on around the media and everything against him. He's still got to be respected. And I think a nice each way on Gold Star Hero about 16. Get the 18s, or if you want to push for the 6 places, you can get 14 to 1 with Bet3 with Sky Bet. Going on to 245 here. This is the main one, the Aston Martin Dash Handicap. 19 are declared, Class 2, very fast. Don't blink here, guys. It'll be done in 54 seconds. And I fancy 2 against the field here. Now, I fancy last year's winner, Dream Composer. I think, personally, I think his run last time at Chester could be overlooked. I don't think the horse was positioned well and just took too much of a keen hold and was always behind under Joe Levy and didn't really get him involved. Finished behind the likes of Gerbat that day. But I think Dream Composer could run a very good race here if he brings that Pontefract form where he just got touched off by a neck. But yeah, I think Dream Composer could run a big race, last year's winner. And a consistent type here is Stuart Williams' horse here in Existent. Now this horse has got such many strings of seconds. The last 4 runs, 4 seconds. And this horse is so consistent, it probably deserves to be in a race like this. Got Epsom form, where he ran in the 22nd of April here in the Betfred handicap when touched up by 2.5 lengths to Spartan Arrow that day, over the 5 furlongs. Came out of stall 10. Comes out of stall 14 this time around. I think a little bit more nearer the back the rails. Has a big chance each way here. Again, Skybet go. What have we got here? Skybet will go bigger places. Skybet goes six places. Yeah, 6 places to here. And with Dream Composer at 12s, on the 6 places, and you've got existing at 14s and but 10s if you want a bit of the 6 places. But if you don't want the value, go with 5 places, and you can get better odds. You get what existent at 14s with Coral, and you'll get Dream Composer again at 14, 16 with Bet 365 5 places. So it's probably worth sticking in. But I'm going to go both each way. Good places, Dream Composer and um, existent, both each way. I'm going to take on the likes of the big ones at the top of the market, which is Gerbat, GM Lungle, and Spartan Arrow. And all respect from me. On to the big one, the 330. Who wins the Derby? Now, listening to Aidan O'Brien today on Delacroix, he said the horse has gone well. He's ridden well. I mean, he won the Baddy Sacks in good style, but and when he beat Lamborn, his stablemate by 2.25 lengths. Um, that form was recently franked with Puppet Master. Came out and won. So the form's there in the Baddy Sacks, but for me personally, I think Delacroix has had one race too many. Um, Came out and won again, won the Derby trial over at Leopardstown. And I just think, I've just had this little feeling here that I think he's had one race too many coming into the Derby. Um, that's just my thought. And the fact that, you know, he's got the pedigree there. They seem to think he's got the pedigree there to win this race. Don't forget, it's by Dabari, which I don't think is a proven mile and a halfer. A proven 12 furlong horse for me. It just ain't for me. I think 11 4 is too short. I think he's worth taking on. I think personally this time, I think Ryan Moore's got it wrong. You can never say that, I suppose, but I just think he has got it wrong. On the form lines, I think you've got to look at the Dante. Both Dante runners that have come into the Derby, believe it or not, have actually won the race. And this will bring in pride of Eris. I mean, this will be amazing for Ralph Beckett to land this race. I mean, you've got to admit he was mighty impressive winning 18-1 when he won the Dubai Dante Stakes, and I thought he won it emphatically. And back in 5th there was Nightwalker. Back in 6th in the Lion in Winter. Now, I've been screaming about the Lion Winter for months. Even my friend will tell you, I've backed him anti-post. I've done doubles with him. I've looked at the race over and over again, and I'm gonna have egg on my face because I'm not going to tip him up. Looking at this race more in depth, if you look at the Dante again, I mean when he finished 6th, he wasn't really. Ryan Moore wasn't really hard on him, but he must have thought something in him that he didn't think Lion Winter was a Derby winner. I don't know. This is why he's decided to chose Delacroix. And then you have the runner up there, John Gosling's horse, Damisus. Now, sadly, once more, which I think is quite harsh for me, that they have kicked Kieran Schumacher off again and put James Doyle. And they keep saying we're going to possibly try and get the top jockeys to ride our horses. Okay. And what are they going to do? James Doyle, not really a great jockey to put on a Derby horse, is he? He's around 12. I mean, I like Damisus. I thought he was quite impressive. I thought he stayed on very late in the Dante. I think he was just beaten. And the fact is, believe it or not, the only sire in this race that's actually produced a Derby winner is Frankel. And this will go with obviously Damisus, and I think it's not, and Night Walker, who finished 5th back in the I think he finished 5th back in the Dante. So, and I would have thought, no, I mean Rob Havlin's. I don't think Rob Havlin's good enough to win it. But it's interesting that Tom Marquand comes in to ride Nightwalker. And again, he's no one you can't put off. I mean, these derbies these days, it tends to be Aidan O'Brien. John Gosden would probably love to win a derby. It just keeps eluding him. There's a few races in his calendar. It is eluding him. He just can't seem to win. I think it's going to be very hard to beat anything Aidan O'Brien sends here. Um, and I am gonna have a look here, and I think, my personal point of view, I think it's been set up lovely for this horse, which is Lambourne. Now, if we go back to the Ballysack Stakes, Delacroix beat Lambourne by 2¼ lengths. Don't forget that was over 10 furlongs. Delacroix stayed on well to the line, but if you take a look at the race again and see the way Lambourne came through the race, I think it's a very strong trial. It came into second inside the final and kept on really well. And I think coming down that Epsom straight, I think Lambourne will stretch, and I think this horse could pick up Delacroix if Delacroix's there. Like I said, the form's been franked. Puppet Master came out and landed the Derby trial at Lingfield, and surprised or not, Puppet Master was pulled out. He was declared, but he'd been pulled out. So that would probably be my horse for next year. Derby. Screw the guys. This has fallen down a bit. So this would have been the horse for me, Puppet Master, if the Puppet Master was run. But obviously, Wayne Lorden would have ridden Puppet Master, but now will ride Lambourne. And I'm hoping this time around Wayne Lorden gets it right, because I don't want him, thinking he's on instructions not to win the race, because that's how I felt when he should have won on the Oaks. I think he was on the better horse, well. As you know, I just think it showed that Wells ran in snatches in the last furlong and a half. I mean, he was headed, then he was back in front, he was headed, then he was back in front, he was headed again, he came back again. So it tells me that, well, with a stronger jockey on board, if Ryan rode well, well, Ryan would have won, probably. But obviously, again, Ryan Moore picks brilliantly, and he chose the correct horse, which maybe he's done again. Maybe he knows a bit more about Delacroix than anyone else if he gets the trip. But I think Lambourne's way overpriced at 9-1. I would have thought he'd been in a bit shorter in this. I think Pride of Aris has got to be respected, but can he produce that form from the Danting? Possible. Demisus again, a little bit drift now, but there's a little bit of money around for him, a little bit in some firms, but he's generally about 14-1. Sky Bet only offering 10-1, 5 places. Don't back the Corals, tight as arseholes. Corals just going to 3 places where everyone else is going 4, which is pretty. Sorry, Coral and Ladbrokes are going 3 places. I mean, how tight is that? Where everyone else is going 4 places. So I would probably pick 2 out of this. I think this race. I think. Okay, sorry. I think you might have thought I might have missed a few couple here. I should be really be talking about. When he looked like Rudin Court, for example. Now, Rudin Court, as we all know, won the Guineas, beat Field of Gold. We all know that Field of Gold came out and won quite impressively when landing the Irish 2000 Guineas, and is currently 4-6 on his to go out next run and win. So I think it's a St James's Palace he goes to. It's 4-6, but Rudin Colt, there should be no issues getting the trip because he's might justify it. So there's no issue why he won't get the 1.5 on pedigree. Is he good enough to land a derby for Charlie Appleby? You don't know really, do we? Because you look at here. Charlie Appleby won this with Adayar back in 2021, and he won it again back in 2018 with Massar. But it's John Gosden won it with Golden Hero, we know. I think maybe I just say he would like to win it again, but Aidan O'Brien's so far ahead of anything we have over here at the moment. Um, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him there 1, 2, 2, 3 in this. I'm looking for value. I really, really am looking for value here. Um, and for me, I'm hoping Wayne Lorden can pick up a derby. It would be speaking, I mean, Aidan O'Brien has not only used Ryan Moore to win his derby, so you've got to look at that. Emmett McNamara won it on Serpentine. You know, Seamus Heffernan won it on Anthony Van Dyke. You know, Beggy won it on Wings of Eagles. You know, so it is possible that using a third rate or four rated jockey, O'Brien can still win this race. And I think Lambourne, for me, can bring the Chester form as the Oaks did. And at 9 to 1, sorry, at 9 to 1, he can get 12s. I think I'd rather take it 9 to 1 with most firm, but I'd rather take the four places. Hope he's going to be there at 12 to 1, bet 365, 12 to 1 each way on Lambourne. To be in, at least in the frame at Epsom. I said I was going to pick two. Um, I'm not. I'm just going to stick with the one, which is Lambourne for Aidan O'Brien. Excuse me. Anything else? I mean, you got three back handicaps there. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in anything else around the world and on anything any other cards tomorrow. I mean, it's not that great. It's pretty dire. I mean, you got Chepstow there, Doncaster. You've got all handicaps. Nothing really stands out. So yeah, that will be it for me. So I'm just going to run over the selections again once more, quickly. Like again, I do apologise about my look, guys. It's not really professional, is it? Anyway, so for me, I'm going to play. I'm willing to drop half a point here, so I go for a point win on Royal Dress in the 1 o'clock, the Prince Elizabeth Stakes. In the 1:35, I'm happy to be here with Persica at 9 to 4. It was also with Bet 365. In the 2:10, which is the Betfred 3-year-old dash handicap, don't forget this is not the main one. I would like to think Ruby's Profit will run a big race here, but I'm going to have a small each way here on Gold Star Hero, about 18 to 1 with Coral's 5 places. I don't care about the 6th place Sky Bet. Me saying that now, you watch it go and finish 6th. But I'm going to stick with the 5 places. That's with William Hill, 18 to 1 each way. That is Gold Star Hero. In the 2:45, which is the main dash, the fastest dash in the world, I am going with 2 in the race here. I'm going to stick on Dreams Composure here. I'll probably go here with around, I think the odds here at the moment, we're going to stick around 14s, I think, 16s. I'll go 16 to 1 with Bet365, 5 places, and an each way also with Existence, sorry. Currently 11 to 1 Bet365, generally 10 to 1. There has been money around for it since I've spoken. It's dropped a few points, about 2, 3 points. It's dropped, I think, in the last hour, I think. So that's about 10 to 1. You can get Sky Bet off in 6th place at 10 to 1. I would take that. So 10 to 1 each way, free bet with Sky Bet 6 places. The 3:30, the big race, Betfred Derby. I think, like I said there, I think I'm each way here on Lambourne. I think you've got to be honest. If Lion Winton goes in, please shout at me. Because I have been tipping his sauce up, I say, for weeks. Ever since he lost to the Dante, I thought Lion Winter looked pretty sharp still there. But I say I've already got an anti-post on there. Colin Keane takes a ride. I've already got an anti-post going on that horse, so happy days. But I think Lambourne's going to run a big race each way. You can pay 5 plays with Sky Bet, like I said. It might be worth taking. If you want to do 8 to 1 with Sky Bet, you could literally probably go with Sky Bet, do it as SP, and you get 5 places. I won't be surprised that the fact that I think Lion Winter will be backed. I don't. I'd be quite surprised if he goes off probably about 11-2, 6-1. But I'd like to see a bit more money come around for Lamborn. He's currently about 11-1. And that's it. That's it, really, guys. That's it. That's my bets for the Epsom Derby. I hope we get some winners there. Be lucky. Don't please bet responsibly, and have a great day. Take care. This is On the Level Racing Channel signing out.